cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, praise you, they shout, our hell dance, howling they tell. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Dawn in his hand, dawn without end. They turn the tone to every home. Christmas is here, bringing you cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong dong, that is their song. Winter will ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raise and shout, on and the tale, telling their tales. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Dawn on they send, dawn without end. Their joyful tone to every home. Dawn on they send, dawn without end. Their joyful tone to every home. Ding dong, ding dong.
Hello, and welcome to The Good News. My name is Isaac, and I will be your host for this evening. As we continue our discussion about the birth of Christ, I would like you to consider this. What would it take for you to pack up, travel for months, simply to lay a gift at the foot of a child? Well, tonight's guest did just that. Please welcome our special guest from the past, Milsky Orr. Thank you for having me. Before you tell us about your travels, please share with the audience a bit about what you do.
Sure. Well, I am from a noble family in Persia. I'm a magi, which means I'm a wise man.
So, you study the stars much?
Yeah, I'm kind of a astronomer, astrologer, scientist. You know, we magi were the wise men of our day.
Yeah, hence the term wise man.
Right.
I see. So, what started you on this journey?
Well, in our studies, me and the other wise men were studying and found that there was a new star in the night sky. Knowing the prophecies of Balaam, we recognized it as the sign of the coming of the king.
Prophecies of who?
Balaam, the reluctant prophet, talking donkey.
I remember something about that, but what prophecies are you referring to?
Well, Balaam had prophesied around 1,000 years ago that there would be one who would have dominion.
Meaning a king.
Well, king, we knew it would be someone very important.
So you went to find this king. Did you know how far you had to go?
We had an idea. We knew he was to be the king of Israel, and that is about 900 miles away from Persia.
And why was this king or important person important enough to travel so far?
Well, aside from the fact that he was the one who would have dominion. It's the first new star that I know of that was prophesied. Therefore, this king would have a significant role in history.
So you wanted to be the first to meet him?
Correct.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. But when we return, we will find out what came next.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse so far. Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star of royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide
talking with Melchior, one of the wise men who visited the Christ child. So, obviously you wouldn't have had the convenient means of travel that we have today. Did you travel by camel, as traditionally depicted?
Well, camel, caravan, 900 miles. We use a lot of different means.
And what was your favorite?
Not camel.
We know from the account in Scripture that you did not know exactly where you were going.
Right. We knew the nation, but nothing more specific.
So why did you go to Jerusalem?
Well, I mean, we had to start somewhere. But seriously, it was the capital city, and it's where the current ruler was living. So we started there.
We know again from Scriptures that when you spoke with Herod, you expressed a desire to worship the king. Sounds like you wanted more than just to be the first to see him. When did that happen?
Well, as we traveled, we continued to study the prophecies. And as we did, we discovered the prophecy of Daniel. And he said that there was this Messiah as he spoke about the end times. And I realized that was not just any king, but a rather important figure to all of history. He who is called the King of the Jews. This Messiah is sent by God, not just to rule, but to save his people.
But you aren't Jewish.
Right, but I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God who revealed himself to Moses, the God who saved Daniel from the lions in the lion's den. I would go anywhere for the opportunity to worship him.
Wow, powerful statement.
Well, I hope that's true of all of us.
To be sure. Well, I think that is a good place to take another quick break. Please welcome our children's choir back again as they sing an old song about this Messiah, The Holly and the Ivy.
The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears a crown. The holly bears a berry, as red as any blood, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ to do poor sinners good. The holly bears a prickle, as sharp as any thorn, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ on Christmas Day in the morn. The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears a crown.
They're very good.
Yes, they are. They're hard to good band tonight. Good ensemble. Melchior, as you continue telling us your story, please share how the parents of the child reacted to your visit.
Well, first, we consulted with Herod, who was the king of the day. Then after that, we traveled to the small town of Bethlehem.
Where you found the babe in the manger.
Well, we went to Bethlehem, but he had escaped to Egypt, and finally we found him with his parents in Nazareth.
So, no manger.
I'm afraid that the shepherds got that pretty.
Ah, I see. So you found the home of Mary and Joseph. How did they respond seeing you men show up?
I don't think they were too surprised. I mean, Mary was sitting there with the child, and immediately we knew this was Jesus. This is the one we were searching for. And I immediately bowed and worshiped.
And then?
Well, then we took out the gifts we had brought for the child. We presented him with gold, because he was a king, and frankincense, because, that's what priests use in worship, and then myrrh.
And what is myrrh?
Well, myrrh is a very expensive spice. It's traditionally used for burials, and we knew that this king would die for his people, die for the sins of his people. I wanted to acknowledge his sacrifice.
I see. That must have been an amazing visit.
The best day of my life.
So, something I have always wondered, knowing the cruel nature of Herod and his demand that you return with information, why would you risk defying him and not return to Jerusalem?
Well, who would you listen to? A king who has limited jurisdiction, or a God who can speak to you in your dreams?
Good point. If it's all right with you, I know that there are a few members of our audience that have some questions for you.
Absolutely.
You and Any questions, guys?
What do I eat? Food. What is it that you eat? But seriously, we travel to many different nations, so I've eaten many different things.
You in the back.
What was the star and can you still see it?
What was the star and can we still see it? Well, Casper thought it was a comet. Balthazar thought it was just some strange celestial event. I just knew that it was meant to lead us to Jesus. I don't know how God did it, but I'm glad he did, and I don't really care after that.
You.
What's a magi?
Magi. Well, besides wise man, magi is the word for which we get magic or magician. You know, they didn't understand science back then. So a lot of times us scholars were seen as wizards.
I think we have one more.
What was the craziest thing that happened on your trip?
Craziest thing that happened on our trip. Well, there was that camel that bit Balthazar, but probably it was the fact that we all had the same dream at the exact same time.
Okay. That is pretty crazy. I have one. What is your turban used for?
Well, it keeps my head warm at night. My wife actually loaned it to me.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you, Melchior, for joining us. It was awesome to hear your side of the story.
Thank you so much for having me.
As we close the show, let's welcome back our children's choir for one last song.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, brown and virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, lost your light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy